everybody, I'm back, and this time I am working on a round ornament. And this is probably the last video I'm going to show, because this is the hardest in the series, is the rounds. So I've already done a bloom on a round, and now I'm going to do a bloom transfer. So if you haven't seen my other videos, you should tune in. I start with the number 1, where I work on a flat ornament, which is the easiest ornament. And all I did on that one was a bloom, and I also showed how I varnish. And it's very simple. And in that video, I share a little tip of what I do with those ornaments, because they're flat and you can have a special use for them. But you have to see you have to watch a video to see what that is. I'm not, you know, I've been accused of saying a lot of things, and I tell a lot of people a lot of stuff. I share everything. And that one there, you just have to tune into it. It's video, what is it, 275, I think. If it's not, I'll correct it here. So yeah, so the bloom series, I have a bloom playlist. I will link at the very end of the video here. And yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to show this one last or the regular bloom last, but I have 5 in this video series. And all I do, I like this medicine dropper for spreading out the paint. I'm much more controlled at it, and as you see, what's in the basin here is what was left over from the last bloom that I just did. And I have it on my little drill. This makes it very easy to spin it and get everything covered that I need to get covered. And as you see, it's already congealing toward the bottom. Whoops. That's what's going to happen with all the color as it runs down. Now, when I was first trying to do these, I was trying to do blooms all the way around. And I know there's ways of doing it, but I've decided, for simplicity and efficiency, I'm not going to do that, because I don't need to have a bloom all the way around. In fact, what I find is that the back is so cool. When it's, I'll show you at the end. It's so cool as the paint comes down, it all, because it's a sphere, it all comes down, and it comes to a point at the bottom, and it makes the backside basically a second ornament because you have a design on it. Okay, so I'm going to let gravity do its thing here, and then what I'm going to do next, I am going to bloom on this, what do you call it, palette knife. There we go. Okay, so get some pillow. Lay my pillow down. So if you do bloom, this is just like doing a normal bloom on a coaster. Make sure you have enough. And I really like doing these, our bloom transfers. Okay, just stretching the pillow a little bit. Now I'm going to lay down my colors. And I'm almost out. So the first color down is going to be this Golden's Iridescent Silver. My paint is spreading over here. I want to make sure I get enough paint down. This is Golden's Shading Gray with Modern Masters Pearl. We are literally out of this gray. All right. Nickel Azo and Zeus combo. Gold combo. That's DecoArt's 24 karat gold with Golden's iridescent gold. And if you've been watching me, you know I hardly ever just use a paint on its own. I am always blending and putting them together. The black. Yeah, so this is Golden's Carbon Black, and I will have all of the colors listed in the description. And this is my white cell activator, and I do have a creation video for video 141 if you want to see how I make it. And this is my oxide black. So if you're a bloomer, you'll know what to do here, and if not, you can just watch. But basically, I'm just blowing this out like I normally blow out my blooms on either coasters or whatever I'm blooming on. Blowing into the center of the cell activator and then stretching it out. I'm holding the edge there just to make sure that none of the paint slips off the side. And yeah, you just turn the palette knife or the putty knife, whatever this is, around as you're blowing out the bloom so that you get the full spread of the bloom on this palette knife. So the concept's the same as normal. You blow out that cell activator over the top of the paints and the paints over the pillow to get the composition. It's really not hard. It's just a little bit different trying to do it holding something that you're moving around in your hands versus having it on a stable platform of a spinner. But it all works out the same in the end. No worse for the wear. Set it down. Get my spreader ready. Some have asked, why do I transfer the bloom in the first place? Well, I'll tell you. When you're blowing down the bloom, you don't have a chance to spread it out like you do on a turntable. Having the spreader gives you the chance of relieving that bloom from being pushed down into that palette knife, and it gives it some freedom and flow when you spread it with the spreader. Here we go. For it to let go. We're going to scoop this guy up, and then we're going to lay him down. So let's try to do... Oh, you know what? Before I do that, let me make sure I'm getting the cells back in the center. And the concept on this bloom transfer is not so much about perfect composition, but it's about spreading all that paint out and getting that cell activator stretched out as far as possible. So this is not typically what I would do on a coaster, but for these transfers on ornaments, it works perfectly. So I don't have the luxury of spinning it, so I had to do something here. I wanted to stretch it out even more. Okay, here we go. So now I'm going to scoop this up right in front of you guys. So the huge tip here is having that pillow paint on the leading edge of the other palette knife. It's kind of hard to get this on one easy scoop. Notice how the second palette knife has already lost the pillow. That's because the composition's already consumed it. Here we go. Don't waste any time. And then you have to go very quickly from scooping it to transferring it. And once you've done it once, you get the hang of it. You know about how fast to go so that you get the composition right at the top where you want to have it centered. Okay, here we go. Look at this, what's left on this thing. It's gorgeous. So I'm going to replay this. So when you get this other palette knife underneath the bloom to transfer it, it releases all of that push down that you blew into the paints to start with. As you put it across the top of the ornament, go really slowly to get the composition where you want it to lay. And I've done enough of these to see that the bloom transfer works better than the bloom blowout because I'm not blowing the heck out of these cells all over the place. I'm just scooping them up and compressing them prior to stretching them. And ultimately, they hold together better. All right. Spread it out a little bit. Get the neck a little more. Bring it around the back. For this part here, and I do always have extra straws, I'm just blowing all of that composition down as best I can to the bottom of the ornament. Gravity's going to pull on all this. So just be patient and let it kind of just do its thing. And it's gonna pour down on itself too. Okay. All right. How do I look from that side? I can't see, it's hard. What is this? All right. See how much, this is so much lighter than the other one. It's really pretty. I like this one. Oh, good Lord. Okay, I'm going to take you off the camera and I'm going to show you what's going on from the top, and I'm going to show you the bottom so you'll see how the painting is, how the paint is coming together at the bottom. I hope you're able to see that. That's gorgeous. And then here we are from the bottom. So that's what it looks like down there. So it's going to congeal together, and if you want to, you can actually play with it a little bit with a toothpick or a straw and kind of work it down. But as time goes by, as time goes by, it's going to come down like this. And let me show you the other one that's over here. So that's how it looks. So I'm going to call that a wrap, and I'll show you, the next process will be the varnishing part. Okay. So from the prior 3 videos, people have asked, what do I do with the ornaments after I've painted them? Well, here we go. This is it. This is all I do. On my shelf rack, I got holes, and I just stick the skewer through the hole. Secure it with some Raid. You must have some Raid. You need something heavy enough to hold it. And then you just sit it here and let it drip into a little drip pan. And that's it. And here's how the bottom is developing. And you're going to have a 2-in-1 ornament here when it's all said and done. So yeah, I put it to bed. And I got a couple spots here for all of them. Let it dry. At least 2 days is probably good. And then you get ready to varnish it, and that's about it. All right, everybody, I hope that helps you, and I'll be back for the varnishing portion. Okay, thanks a lot, everybody. All right, everyone, I'm going to show you the varnishing on the discs, which is from video 275. It's the same concept as the rounds. It's very simple, so let me show you. So it's really simple. Once again, let me just start over here. So here's the most recent one I did. I'll probably share this video with you because I really love it. This was the Bloom Transfer. So I'm just going to put a little bit of varnish on the top. Now, I have a glove like this right now because I've been varnishing. So I've been varnishing other stuff. So I'm just going to apply the varnish. And this is already wet, so I'm just going to go around the whole back without applying any more, because it's wet. And I will probably do at least 2, if not 3 coats on this. That's it. Varnish it. Got my little styrofoam holder over here. Gonna stick it in. Done. Next one. So, I mean, these are the Bloom, and this also is the Bloom Swipe, Bloom Transfer. So let's just Put a little on there. Like I say, I'm wet, so I've already got varnish on my hands. And I like to do it like this because this is just a rag and I have it rubber banded. So I have a nice flat surface that's not going to buckle and move on me. I'm going to get the back. And what I don't get the first time around, I will get on the second time. Let's get that guy in here. Next one, line them up, bring them in. Once again, just a couple drops. And if your glove is wet or your rag is wet, you're going to be fine. I got plenty on here. Remember I was telling you how the back dries? Well, this is it. This is what the back will look like. And I'm happy with this because I think this looks kind of cool anyway. It's not a perfect bloom from the front, but it's kind of cool from the back. Next one. Anyway, I let these guys just dry for, I don't know, half hour, and I'll recoat them. And I'll be back to do them again, but I'm not going to show you that part. I'll show you when it's all finished. So up next are the final finished, varnished transfer ornaments. So everyone, this is finally a wrap. Here is the ornament that we just created together, fully varnished with 3 coats and decorated with the little ornament holder and a little ribbon on top. And I think it came out pretty cool. I got the 2-in-1 ornament going on from the front and the back, and so I'm really happy with this. And here are many ornaments that I've already created. So in the first row, I've got my red ones. These were, in fact, my very first ornaments I attempted. Both the end ones are blooms and the 2 middle ones are transfers. This center row is the same color palette I used on the one I just created, only these are straight blooms. These are the ones that are the transfer. That's the one I just created with you. And this is another transfer. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, hit the bell on all. You'll get all my latest art tutorials. Leave a comment as well. I'd love to hear what you think. I will link the ornament playlist at the very end, and there's one more video I'll be sharing with you, and that is the bloom on round. Thanks a lot, everybody. Take care. Till next time.